Yo, hey guys, it's poppin', Jacques Slade here. Back with another unboxing, and today I've got something that I'm sure you've probably seen already, and you know what? That's okay, but you haven't seen it right here on this channel. This one, it's special. It's taking things up a notch. It's making relevance of a brand that wasn't necessarily irrelevant, but they weren't in the conversation. And because of the work of this designer in particular, they are now in the conversation, which is a sign of really great work. So shout out to Salehe Bemburry, who created this shoe, the New Balance 2002 R. Well, I shouldn't say he created the shoe. He created his own version of the shoe. He did a color up of this shoe and brought it into relevance, made it relevant to the larger sneakerhead community. As most of you guys know already, we don't talk a lot about New Balance in the sneakerhead world, which we should do. We should definitely be talking about them more, but pieces like this, sneakers like this, will help change that conversation. Now, these came out a few months ago, and you can already see like just the storytelling that's happening on the box. It's next level, it's beautiful. This is the Grand Canyon. In particular, it's Havasu Falls, which is in Arizona, and there's a longer, deeper story about that, but I'll jump into the shoes right now. I love some of the detailing on this box. Water Be the Guide, which is the name of this colorway. Something that's really cool is on the inside of the box here. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that is supposed to be, but you can see that it has Salehe's like custom beanie, or I shouldn't say custom, but like the beanie that he always wears. And then it has the shoes, but then the rest of it is like a cartoon, and it's wild. It's like 3 different versions of him within this like cloud. I'm not sure what that means, and I would love to find out a little more. So if you do know what that means, let us all know down in the comments below, because those are the kind of things that help complete the storytelling around a sneaker like this. Anyway, let's get down to the actual kicks. So they have his name there, Salehe Bemburry, Salehe Bemburry. I keep saying his name wrong. It's Bemburry right there. New Balance. And then we have the shoes. It says, oh, I didn't ever see this. This first collaborative project between Salehe Bemburry and New Balance Athletics Incorporated. Very nice. So this is the Water Be the Guide colorway, and they're really fantastic. He really did a great job. He's allowing his artistic expression, his creative expression, his character to come out in the shoes and tell a story that, one, we haven't heard before, which give him credit because he's been able to add relevance to something that most of us didn't even know about. So the shoes are based on the falls, Havasu Falls, and they come with extra laces, just so you guys can see those. See, they're pink, and then they're green. I'm just gonna say like a neon green as well. And there's a bit of storytelling happening here. So the Havasu Falls is in the land of the Havasupai people, which is a group of Native Americans that live in the Grand Canyon, and they're the only group of Native Americans that actually live in the Grand Canyon at the current moment. And so the falls are what this shoe is based on, and you see the colorway with the nappy suede. You see the mesh that's happening here. You see the leather that's on the tongue, and all of that kind of comes together based on the inspirations of that area. And then the color, which is like this turquoise. Hold on, there's an official color here. No, there's no official color on the side, but I'm gonna call it turquoise and green. And that is actually a direct reflection of the Havasupai people. Their name, Havasupai, actually means people of the green and blue water, which you see when you go to the falls. And then that's where these colors came from those colors that popped in the Havasu Falls. So again, they have the nappy suede that covers all of the overlays of the shoe, and it's very nice, very thick, very well done, and put in the perfect places. On the inlays of the shoe, you have a mesh, and it's like this wide mesh. You can really see it here at the toe, how wide that mesh is. You can see it's like open, so it's breathable. And this is part of my thought is this is part of Salehe's his foray into the world outside. So he loves being in the outdoors, That's what the shoe is inspired by the outdoors. So you need to have something that's breathable. And so with these mesh panels, you get that breathability that you obviously need with a shoe like this, especially with something that has this sort of construction with nice materials like the nappy suede that's all over it. You're going to need some breathability in the shoe so the shoe doesn't get too hot. Now, on the tongue, we have a touch of leather there as well, and there's a little bit of leather here down at the bottom of the tongue area as well, and that's a nice touch. Additional leather you see is here on the side panels, on the medial and on the lateral side. And on the lateral side, you have the 2002R. Now, this shoe, I'm not super familiar with. I will freely admit that. I'm not super familiar with everything that New Balance does, but from what I've read, this shoe is a runner from like the 2010, and it's a mix of two different models. So I believe there was a model from the 2000s that covers the top, and then the bottom, this midsole, is from a different shoe from around 2010, and that's where the name the 2002R comes from, because it's a blend of two different shoes. Again, don't quote me on that, but that's from what I've read so far about this shoe. That's what that means. I actually haven't even had a chance to put these on my feet yet, which I will definitely do. Now, when it comes to tech, New Balance isn't the most flashy when it comes to their tech. It's not a story that we hear all the time, but these do have their Energy midsole, which if you're familiar with New Balance, you know that they're all about running, all about comfort. So I imagine that this Energy midsole feels great. I don't see why it wouldn't. And then I believe they also have Absorb, which is another part of their tech, and I believe the 2002R has that Absorb tech in there as well. Again, I'm just not familiar enough with New Balance's tech to give you guys the full story, so I just want to make sure I give you as much information as I possibly can. So if you do decide to get a 2002R, whether it's this silhouette or this colorway rather, or another shoe, you have the information that you need. Now, the final piece of these is on the New Balance, or the N logo on the side. It has like this shearling sort of feel to it, or I shouldn't even say feel to it, it's the shearling material. And if you've actually seen any of the clothing that Salehe has been producing from the sweats that he's doing over at beasponge.com, you'll see that he has that shearling material. It's kind of part of the look that he creates with his apparel. And so it's good to see him incorporating that piece of his style into the shoe, in addition to the nappy suede, in addition to the mesh, and in addition to the leather that we see there on the tongue. Now, two final pieces or details about this shoe that I really like. One, the Salehe Bemburry there on the tongue. So you have like his personal name right there on the shoe, almost like it's his signature shoe. He made this like his own signature with his name there. And then they also actually have cork insoles in here as well. Now these are actually perforated, so there's perforations in them, and I imagine that's kind of to reduce a little bit of the weight and to keep the airflow going on. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's actually perforations in the midsole, and if I turn it over, you can probably get a better look. So you can see there, you can really see that they're perforated. There's perforations all through that insole. But it's cork at the top, a little bit of foam at the bottom. And then in the shoes, they actually have the holes there as well. So there's perforation in the actual strobel board as well. And it's like this strobel board sits right on top of, I'm trying to see if there's like, I don't think there's cardboard under here. So I think you're directly on top of the Energy. And there's just a fabric strobel board, and your foot sits right on top of the Energy midsole, which is always nice because you have that direct contact. You can feel the actual foam, the EVA, right away. You know, there's nothing in between, kind of as a barrier to feeling that material. Now, these are sold out, unfortunately. I really wish this was something that had a wider release so more sneakerheads were able to get their hands on a pair of these. But what they do give me hope is that what Salehe is doing with New Balance, that he's able to further expand the way that people view that company. With silhouettes like these, I think it'll open up the doors for New Balance and give sneakerheads like me that haven't really been up on game when it comes to New Balance, let's keep it a buck here, but open their eyes to that and see what they have to offer and see what the technology is like, see what the materials that they're using. Because one thing we do know about New Balance is that they're always doing very, very good when it comes to the materials that they put on the shoes. They don't really skimp when it comes to stuff like that. If there's anything you know about New Balance, you know that the materials on the shoe are always going to be A-okay. So big shout out to Salehe. He actually sent me this pair. We had a talk over on Facebook, and he sent these over to me. So thank you, Salehe, for sending these over. Definitely appreciate it. Again, these are sold out. You can get them on the resale market. Definitely head over to eBay if you want to grab yourself a pair of these. And he also has another colorway that's orange that looks super dope as well. So I'm trying to get my hands on those as well so I can have both of them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is stuff like this going to make a difference when it comes to New Balance? Is it going to force you to kind of rethink the way you think about New Balance, or is this just a flash in the pan? And because I think this is a great opportunity to really open our eyes when it comes to sneakers and add more things to our closet than just the stuff that we always wear all the time. Anyway, as always, guys, I appreciate you. I am Jacques Slade. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. And let me know if you want to see more content like this on sneakers like this that aren't necessarily the most popular, but they're definitely moving the needle when it comes to the sneakerhead community. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Peace.